Here we are asked to find the measure of the missing angle ABC. When I give the notation ABC, it means that we start at point A, we draw a line to point B, and then after that draw a line to point C. What we're really being asked is to find the angle that I'm drawing in yellow here. We could have also just called this angle B because that's where the point of the angle is located. Some textbooks will use 3-letter notation, and some of them will just use 1-letter notation, but be prepared to see both. In effect, we're just trying to find the missing angle. The most important thing to remember here is that in a triangle, all of the interior angles must add up to 180. We could just say that A plus B plus C equals 180. However, we know that A is 130 degrees. So we'll write that here underneath A. Then we'll say plus B, which we don't know. Then we will add angle C. We can see that angle C is 20, so we'll write that after the plus. So instead of saying A, we say 130. Instead of saying C, we say 20. This will still equal 180. And we can find out what B is by doing some algebra. The first thing I would do is combine the numbers on the left that I do know. We can take 130 and add 20 to it. If we do so, we will get 150. So instead of saying 130 plus B plus 20, we can say B plus 150. We'll still say this equals 180. Now we can get B by getting rid of the 150. And to do that, we can subtract 150 on both sides. I'm going to write minus 150 on the left and the right. On the left, 150 minus itself will cancel out, and on the right, 180 minus 150 gives 30. Therefore, my answer is that B equals 30, and that will be my missing angle. Therefore, angle ABC is 30 degrees. Now we'll do another example in a shape with 4 sides. A shape with 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. The rule for a quadrilateral is that all of the angles must add up to 360 rather than 180. Therefore, we could say A plus B plus C plus D must equal 360. We're asked to find the measure of angle BDC, so we start at B, draw a line to D, and then draw a line to the third letter, that's C. The angle we're looking for is the one I'm shading in yellow now. When we do algebra, though, we're just going to name this angle after the letter it's most connected to, and that's D. We'll treat D as the unknown here. But the good news is we know what A, B, and C are. Angle A is in the upper left side, and we can see its measure is 100. We'll place that for angle A. Then for angle B, we can see it's 80. And then for angle C, we'll say 120. We'll put plus signs in between them, and then we'll say plus our unknown angle D. Together, these all make 360. Now we're going to combine the numbers that we do know. So we'll look on the left side, and we'll take 100 plus 80 plus 120. 100 plus 80 would give 180. We'll rewrite everything here, and we'll just combine the 100 plus the 80. Then we can combine the 180 plus the 120. If we add those together, we get 300. Then we'll say plus D still, and then we'll say equals 360. Finally, we can subtract 300 from both sides. When we subtract 300 on the left, we'll cancel the 300 out, but then we'll subtract the same 300 on the right. So we can say that D is equal to 360 minus 300. When we subtract this, we'll get just 60. This means that angle D, or if you prefer, angle BDC, will be 60 degrees. So remember that the rules for the angles inside of a quadrilateral are a little different than the ones in a triangle. We'll be adding up to make 360 rather than 180.